Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 5th of October, 2025. Marvellous. That is right, my friends. Autumn is truly here. We have had a storm, Storm Amy, and it's been wet, and it's been windy, and it's been cold. And as such, my perfume choices from this last week will reflect such outrageous and vicious weather. Also, on Monday, I went for a bit of a trip. I went to Leeds, and so on Monday I wore one of my most fetching and delightful perfumes. I wore Vanille Havane. Not that you would know that from the label because it's kind of come off a bit. The H has kind of moved down to the bottom. But not to worry, I don't wear the label, I wear the perfume. This is probably the best Les Indemnisables. It's kind of hard to make. I think some other people would say maybe it's one of the colognes. Rose de Jamal is really, really good. I mean, I love the ones that I have, but Vanille Havane's probably the best one, which is probably why they do it in 100ml. It's the only one they do in 100ml. Kind of glad they do it in that. It's worth every penny, the 100ml. It's very, very reasonably priced. About the same price as the higher end 50ml Tom Fords, which are all shit. Or I say the higher end, the more expensive Tom Fords, like the Mer Mystère and stuff like that. And they're not as good as any of the Les Indemnisables, to be honest. I layered it with the only acceptable layering partnership, which is the Parfum, or the Extra Absolu. I did a rant video about perfumes and stuff like that. But this is the only acceptable layering course of action you are allowed to take, friends. That's absolutely fantastic, though. Really good. Really, really good. The Extra Absolu is incredible, actually. Just based on smell alone. It's absolutely glorious, like. Okay. The performance is wicked as well. On Tuesday I was suitably tired, as you can imagine, because I don't have the greatest of recoveries at the best of times, but when I've been out for the day, I genuinely struggle, and so on Tuesday, I wore this because I knew I wasn't going to be doing anything or going anywhere. There's my vintage Fahrenheit. There's not much of that left. So I have decided to probably wear this once a week until it is gone, friends, until it is gone. Because I have a horrible feeling it will start to do things such as, oh dear, evaporate or go off. Hasn't done either of those things yet. It's very kind of, it's very stable as the old Fahrenheit, but as you can see, I've used a lot of that. That's all I've got left in that bottle. I like to try and get through these once they get to that sort of thing. Big violet leaf, big gasoline, oily leather sort of thing, diesel kind of feeling. It's got like a diesel oil kind of texture, but it's got a gasoline smell, you know? General hydrocarbon feel to it. Okay, speaking of something oily, on Wednesday I wore this. Now you might be wondering, that's not very explanatory. This is Vert de Encens by Tom Ford. This is a great perfume. I actually looked up the perfumer for this, and it's a guy called Michael Nordstrand, who I hadn't heard of before. he did all of the green. He did all of the green line of the Privés. It's really, really nice, this. It's really nice. There was a guy on my Discord server selling 100 mil of this for a very reasonable price, considering the prices that some of the discontinued Tom Fords go. The price he was selling it for was absolutely fantastic, to be fair. I've got a big 250 mil though, so I'm pretty happy with how that is. I've got, from this, I get like a conifer type thing, like an evergreen tree. I get that from it. I get a little bit of like the sap from it, and then I get like incense too. It's wonderful. It really is very, very nice. And the when the perfume goes on, it's very oily. It stays wet on your skin. The sheen, the old sheen from it. It's a fantastic perfume, this. It really is very, very good. Excuse me, what's going on? You're not keeping us awake or anything, don't worry. The problem with using these travel atomizer things is that, Christ almighty, you end up putting about fucking 10 to 15 sprays on because you never feel like it's actually spraying enough when in fact it is. So I stank of that all day. Very good performance. Really good. The incense note is not too dry. It's very green. It's odd. Kind of reminds us a bit of incense Kyoto, which is like more of a cypress incense thing. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Okay. On Thursday I wore another perfume which I'm looking to try and wear every week until it's gone. Hopefully that will be soon. This is Francesco Smalto pour Homme. Now you might be wondering, why do you want to get rid of this? Because there's hardly any left. There's about 5 or 10 mil left in there. And frankly, I don't want to be in a position where this is just lying about in the bottle. Again, I fear evaporation. I fear it going off, and when it gets to this sort of point, I mean, I've got backup. I've got a 200 mil of vintage Fahrenheit that is covering the 50 mil, and I've got many bottles of Smalto pour Homme because it's one of my favourite perfumes. This is Star Anise. It's a big lavender. It's aromatic at the top. It's green. It's a little spicy, and then it has the big smoke moss note. So it's a smoky leather oak moss. Wonderful. The performance is great. It's fresh. It's clean. It's smoky. It's herbal. It's aromatic. It's got so much going on. It's got the full palette. It's so different from today's 1- and 2-dimensional perfumes. I find today's perfumes very flat, I do think a lot of that's to do with the regulation and the destruction of the perfumer's palette and their ability to use different perfume notes and stuff. We need to be careful because there will be lost art and technology, We're not careful. Anywho, Friday it rained. Friday it was extremely wet. It was wet and windy and rainy. And so I wore the wet and windy perfume. This is For Him by Narciso Rodriguez. The original, the Eau de Toilette. This is one of Kirkjohn. It's hard to believe Francis Kirkjohn made this with some of the other shite that he puts out now. He was working for Takasago at the time, and I think that Takasago were the people making the Jean Paul Gaultiers as well, but I could be wrong. This is very different from that. It's very different, but you can It's very different, but the structure's kind of similar, you know. You can see that it was the same architect. A lot of violet leaf, a lot of musk, given that wet concrete sort of thing. But patchouli as well. Patchouli gives this kind of dry, close to the ground earthiness, you know. It's very interesting how this perfume wears. There's something a little bit salty about it as well, like airy, you know, like something in the air about it. It's lovely. A very, very good perfume. Very interesting, fresh and new. Got discontinued because of course it did. Far too interesting for the public to handle these days. Bloody public. Ruining all the perfumes, keeping their wallets closed and buying shite instead. Anyway, next up I wore something I haven't worn for quite a while, and this is a vintage eau de cologne of Etro's Ambra. Now, I actually have another version of this. Or do I? Yeah, I think I do. I need to find it though. This is the eau de cologne version. Just give us 1 second. I'm going to look and see if I can find it. Hold on. Oh! What's this? Yeah, there it is. Oh, there we go. Got another version of this. This is the Splish. Very different. Very different. Really weird. That's the original, the Splash one I've got. That's the original. This is when they went into, I want to say this is a 90s version. Maybe an early 2000s, maybe. So that one you saw there was an 80s version. It's very different. I think that one's something a little bit, I don't know. I can't describe it. Lots of labdanum, some resins, vanilla, styrax in here. The whole amber gamut of things is here. Very good. A little bit of something green as well, but not much. Lots of labdanum. It's very well contained though. It doesn't go too labdanimous, whatever that means. And last but not least is Cardinal. This is the original formulation of Cardinal, friends. It is Cardinal. It is by James Heeley, and I love this stuff. It is tremendous. It's lots of myrrh. It's got a linen note, which is kind of odd, but when you smell it, you know exactly what it means. It does smell like, it's got the whole Filippo Sorcinelli priest kind of thing going on. It's got like the garments, white garments kind of thing. Little bit of sweetness from the myrrh and the olibanum. There's labdanum in here too. It's very good. It's very, very resinous and incensey. Perfect for this outrageous storm we're living through. Anyway, that's it, everybody. Thanks very much, and I will see you again soon.